Welcome to another weekend baking session, and we're going to make a savoury thing this morning. I didn't quite know what to call it. It's actually a Greek. You could use it as a starter, an appetizer, or just if you wanted to make one big one, it could be, you know, a big pie if you like. It's essentially a little pie, but we're going to make small little ones. Okay. So like I say, so it could be more used as a starter, a snack, an appetizer. It's essentially a Greek spinach pie with cheese in it, Greek cheese of course. Well, it's got feta in it. It's a Spanakopita, but I'll probably not pronounce that right again. Okay, it's a Spanakopita, which basically means spinach pie. So obviously you're going to need some spinach, we're going to need some eggs, some ricotta, feta, spring onion, bit pepper, and some pastry. Now traditionally this of course would be made with phyllo, but because we want something that's going to be a little bit more substantial, because we want to sort of take it out for a snack when we're out and about, we're going to use some puff pastry. Okay, so now you're going to need to put your oven on about 190. Okay, so I'm going to get that on, get that up temperature, and then we'll begin. So to start with, we want to get our cheeses ready. So I've got 250 grams of ricotta, which just conveniently happens to be that pack size. And I've got 500 grams of feta, which conveniently isn't. That's 3 packs with 100 grams left over. But I don't know. Feta's nice, I like feta. Then you want a large bowl. And what we want to do is chuck those cheeses into there. And then you can get in here and crumble this up with your hand if you want, it's up to you. But we will be mixing it in with other stuff anyway, but where possible we just want to get this all nicely broken up. Okay, mixed together, and then we can start adding the remaining ingredients. Like I say, you could make one big pie out of this if you wanted to. We're not, we're just going to make little sort of snacky sized ones. So I'm just going to get this mixed in and then I'll show you what's next. So that's the cheeses pretty much roughly mixed together. We're going to add some freshly ground pepper, black pepper, and you want to put some salt in there, just a little bit of salt. Okay. Now we're going to want, now if you've got any, I couldn't get any, we want some dill, just a small bunch of finely chopped up dill, but we haven't got any. And then you want 2, I've added a little bit more because I didn't have any dill. I know it's not really the same thing. I've got 3 spring onions, again finely chopped, so they're going in. And then I want to just add the zest of 1 lemon. Now, we've still got spinach to go in there, but I'm just going to add at this point about 75 mils, 30, 45, 60, see if you were counting then, 75. Okay, so I'm going to leave a little bit more in a bit. What we now want to do is take 400 grams of spinach, and we want to whip, getting everywhere. We now want to shred that finely. Okay, so that's going to take a little while to get that all finely chopped, because like I said, this is essentially a spinach pie. It's just got these cheeses in it. So I'm just going to get this all finely chopped, and then we'll put it in the bowl with the cheese mix and everything. So the spinach is all in, and to be honest, it's easier to get your hands in this to make sure it's all mixed together. It also helps because some of the feta hasn't quite broken up, so you've got lumps of that, so you can just break that as you go. Okay, but that's pretty much now, there's a lump, pretty much all now mixed together. So just going to clean up a little bit, and we'll add our eggs. So in here I've got 2 whole eggs and 1 extra egg yolk, but keep the egg white, okay, because you're going to use that for like the egg wash. So just going to lightly beat these together, and then we're just going to mix that into that, and essentially once that's all well mixed in, that's all the ingredients, and then we can get sorting out the pastry. So in that goes, and we're now just going to make sure that's all thoroughly combined. Right, so I'm just going to lightly flour the surface because we obviously don't want this sticking, and decided it's going to stick to this, you see. Right, that'll do. Do it that way now. Okay, just going to lay that out on there. Now I've got some baking trays. Now you could just oil them, or you could use like I am with some Greek Spinach paper on it. So what we're now going to do is we're just going to cut some rounds. And when I've done all them, we'll move to get the filling in. So I've got these rolled. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a large-ish spoonful onto it. But we want to make sure not got too much in there, because we need to be able to seal this up. So bring the tops up, squeeze together, and then go round the sides, making sure you've crimped them nice and tight. Okay, and then lay that onto your baking sheet. So good spoonful into the middle, bring the sides up, crimp at the top, and then sort of working from the top and the bottom up round, gradually pinch these together. Like I say, make sure all nicely sealed, no gaps, and we're just going to carry on like that until we've filled all these. So I've got these all pinched together and laid out on trays. So that egg white we had from before, we're now just going to add a tablespoon of oil to that, and then just going to beat that together, and this is going to be the wash that we're now going to brush over the top of each one. Okay, so we just go over the tops, and that should hopefully give them a nice golden brown colour. And then our final little touch, which I'll just show you before I finish everything else off, is we're just going to sprinkle over some sesame seeds. Get a bit wash down the side of that one. And then they will go in the oven, like I said, 190 for up to 20 minutes, but they can catch very quickly, so you might want to keep your eye on them. So once I've finished doing these, I'll put them in the oven and I'll show you when they come out. So first batch out the oven. Now these had 20 minutes, 15 minutes, definitely not done. They're not getting much darker, so they're done. Now, I said to you, make sure you seal them properly. So this was one that I didn't obviously seal properly, and it's split open. Now, it has literally just come out the oven, so it's going to be rather hot, okay? Best eaten warm, best eaten hot, okay? But let's just try it, okay? Very cheesy, okay, as you'd expect, okay. It is a bit too warm at the moment to eat, good cheese burn tongue, but really get the flavour of the feta, okay. I'm not sure whether I'll pick up any sort of spinach flavour, but spinach, very good for you, full of vitamin A. So, there are your Greek style spinach pies, just ready, take away with you when you're out walking, have a little snack. So, a Spanakopita, oops, it's spitting everywhere, cheesy pies.